Hockeytown celebrated 3 championships in 7 years, and rarely has someone so tough played so pivotal a part.
McCarty draws. McCarty in. McCarty scores! A magnificent goal! Darren McCarty!
Show that play. Lariano. Shanahan. There it is. He scores! The Red Wings have defeated Colorado. Darren McCarty.
Here's a break at center. McCarty. On ball. McCarty scores! Darren McCarty!
Here's Wolpe and McCarty in. McCarty scores!
I love you, but you're a mess.
I am a mess. I'm a work in progress, I guess you could say. Yeah, this work in progress is right back here, and you know what? I must be trying to impress the millennials and the youth in the building because my guest today, snowboarder extraordinaire, Pinckney's own, Mr. Jake Vedder. We'll get to Mr. Vedder. Jake, how are you? Thanks for coming in.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Doing good. So my man here's 21. I'm just going to show you how I could play nice, but I wanted to show him how time, where we said 7:30, it's 7:29 here on July 31st. So D-Mac, I'm a mess, Dom, but a work in progress. Now, Dom Ruggiero from Mess Bucket Comics, we got some announcements. There's a correlation between Jake and Dom and I, and the correlation with Grind Time with Darren McCarty, and what I say, it's just making relationships come and go. So, Dom, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about what we got going on, what you got going on with Jake, and just how everything works out. Appreciate you, what everything you're doing, but also for being here. Bam Bam, good to see you, bro. I realized that last week when I didn't really elaborate on the ass kicking you got in the backyard. I brought it up, and then I sort of was driving home and went, fucking stoner, you forgot the fucking shit.
I steered you right off of it.
You did. You're fucking very good at what you do, sir.
It wasn't a fair match, but
I
didn't know the lay of the land.
No.
There's
Hey,
bounces
first
I
time
didn't know.
Listen, first time playing the course, right? And this, we're talking about my backyard, Jake. I got like a little chip in, and we're gonna set it up. And Bam Bam, he's competitive as a motherfucker, right? Like
I left pissed.
He hates to lose, right? So we have a little chipping thing. First time out in the course, you know, but it's just because he expects to win, and he lets you know he expects to win. And then when you fucking drub him to the dirt, you know, it's like he's going down that fucking, he's like, it's fucking the Brighton Hill. It's the fucking it's the Cobo or the Pine Knob Hill. Like, what the fuck? I do this crazy shit out in Aspen all the time. Then you wipe on that hill in front of it's like some fucking chicks and shit. Right? That's it. Hey, no, that's it, Bam. That's what it was. So, because we are neighbors, we'll definitely continue this throughout, but we'll have to figure out how to set up like a little 4 or 5 hole course.
Yeah, I'll schedule a tea time and see, what's going on.
Yeah, you know, and feel free to come over and play like a practice round, so it doesn't have to be a scheduled event.
Sure,
you can. I don't want you to think that the course is closed. It's like Augusta or something that is closed when you don't have
it's
a
a public
member.
course right now.
It's like, hey, I don't want it to be like shout out to Radio for One Studios. Fucking Beto Boger J and Mike Walters, the Detroit cast. Obviously, we all listen for Easus, but they are a What Up fam, along with J. Chris Newberg. Heroin has a new publicist, which next week will be our guest in here in the afternoon, and I will be at Ridley's Comedy Castle. Still tickets available. He's doing a live. Heroin has a new publicist. Funny guy, J. Chris Newberg, comedian. His albums has been number 1 for over a year on the comedy albums. Nice. Yeah, he's a brilliant guy, great friend of the show. He's the reason actually I do comedy, right, Jake? Yeah. So I travel. Actually, I'll be in Plainwell. I hope I didn't say it wrong, but I'll be in Plainwell with Kevin Zioli, who's a very funny guy, who's been on NBC, been on different stuff, traveled around. I've been doing comedy. He's one of the guys on the Slapstick Comedy Tour I've been doing it with. So we're getting back out Friday, Plainwell. I know that, but also too with the comedy, whole bunch of other stuff that's coming up. Where was I? Fucking lost my train of thought.
You were just talking about me losing, but we can move on and talk with our nice guests. I'm sure they got all kinds
Well,
of wins. This guy wins everything is what I
Well,
heard.
you know what? Here's the whole
So
thing.
you don't want to talk to a loser
How
like
can he
me.
not? Listen,
Transition.
Listen, let's take it for reals. And Dom's more okay. So right now we have the, young, right, to here. There's an age thing, right? Now, when I first look at the kid's got to be successful. Because I don't give a fuck. If I was his with that name, I'd be telling everybody Eddie Vedder's my uncle.
Uncle Eddie.
Uncle Eddie, dude. You know it. Like, and the fact that, things that I read and I understand, like, I know the two things that I cannot do, right? Cannot do. And some people would say skate, and I'd say, yeah, that's the third one. But I cannot do is roller skate and snowboard.
Get out.
And wakeboard. I can't. I can ski. I can water ski. I can't do the fuck. It's like my feet are too. I'm retarded.
Roller skate?
No. Rollerblade. I didn't. No. Skateboard.
Okay.
Oh, you did say rollerblade. Skateboard.
I did. I meant no. I can rollerblade.
All right.
Okay.
I mean barely. That's like number 3.
Skateboard and snowboard?
And wakeboard.
All
like
right.
anything with
Any
the 2
board.
feet there, it's like
Yeah.
too hard. I like either break my neck or it's just like I'm the big kid who's like butt shuffling down the hill. So for you, how did you I'm gonna start calling you Eddie. So how did you? You're from Pinckney, right?
Yep.
So you're a local boy. How does a kid from Pinckney give me and the Grind Time with Darren McCarty listeners a little backstory about how you got to where you're at now?
Yeah, for me, everything was only board sports. Like that's the only thing I knew, and I still know.
Why is it because
I can't even ice
skate? You have an older brother?
Yeah, I got an older brother, but just as a family, like we started, we just went on ski trips. Like we went to Mount Braden. I started skiing when I was 2 years old. Started snowboarding when I was 5, and really nothing. Like growing up, I was never the best. I just I saw local competitions and got into them. Started competing around the state, but still nothing too crazy. Anyone can join, just local competitions. Ended up making my way to nationals in Colorado. I started winning them locally, but then made my way to nationals, Colorado.
So at what age? So you started at 2.
Yeah.
What age? And you're entering this. What age? Because when you say right then is everything that I hear about is why it's great to get to know you is because you got to everything you got to is because picking yourself back up
Yeah.
and hard work and because you probably if all the kids are doing 100 reps down the hill you're doing 200 or if it's because you're the first one out there and the last one. Explain to me, when did you know that hey, you started winning, but there's got to be a moment because I know for me that it didn't matter what anybody else told me. You tell me I can't, and I'm going to do it just to spite you so I can say fuck you on the way by, on the way whatever, as my plane's going up, and I'm doing it right now again as I've re-entered life. So how about you?
I would say the cheat code to it all was that I was from Michigan. Like all these kids for what I do, it's super popular in California, Colorado. But in Michigan, we have a hill like Mount Brighton or something super small, or Pine Knob, something 250 feet vertical where you just get a lot of repetitions. Like that's all we knew. So when I got a chance to go to Colorado, it was a game changer. I was like, holy cow, these kids get to practice on this all the time. But I'm like, I'm up to speed with this. Like I can do this.
So the game changer was when you took your local talent here's a lot of things. Don't believe the hype. And the hype of whatever,
exactly. Yeah.
It's because if you know yourself, don't let anybody. You got to take that chance. Now that had to be. How old were you when you went out there?
So I made the jump. I was going to Colorado from when I was 6 years old to 13, once a year, twice a year, just with my family.
Right, you weren't competing.
No.
You're just.
Yeah.
Getting out
Checking
there,
it
so you would see. Oh wow, it's like me.
Checking
It's
out the
like
scene.
wow, there's different arenas and there's different. For you, there's here it's 250
feet vertical,
and there it's
13,000. Like
right, which explain the for an adrenaline junkie or something like that. That's the greatest Christmas gift in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, but the talent out there. There's so many more kids. You hear of a good snowboarder in Colorado, it's every other kid. A good snowboarder in Michigan, I'm blessed because of that. Like I'm lucky because I had Like, it's not popular here. And so for like, we just growing up in Michigan, I never got to see the steepness, like the train these guys rode. They were just that much better growing up. But then I made the switch, and once I finally moved out there, I moved out there when I was 13. I went to Utah for 2 years, and then I lived at my coach's house for 3 years in Colorado.
See, explain that. Explain that.
So,
what was your coach's name? Because obviously, just from here, and there's always an influence and always somebody. For me, I moved away when I was 15 or 16, and lived with my coach. His name's Brian Drum. When we get to the cover of the he's actually on the cover of the graphic novel, which we're gonna show in a bit. But talk a little bit about that experience. Not only moving away from home at 13 years old, right? A little bit of different life change.
Yeah, I mean, it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice for my family too. Really, it started with my family. I had the passion for it, but my family had the backing for, like, they're like, okay, yeah, you can miss some school. Like, they had an open mind to it all. Where they're like, yeah, you can miss some school. Let's see how it goes. Let's test it out. So my dad actually moved with me out to Park City, Utah and he's an electrician. So every day counts for him. He's missing work, but he moved out with me but I was too young. I was 13, 14, just trying to figure out the whole scene. And so I moved to Park City, the Olympic town, like the main Olympic U.S. ski and snowboard place, just to try to figure it all out. And I mean, I don't know. It went well. Like, I met a new coach and just started. I picked it up really fast, and I progressed through it's called the North American Cup circuit. And I race. So to bring that all back, I race border cross. So I don't do like what Shaun White does, the half pipe. Like, I race. So it's we get down and dirty.
Speed, dude.
Yeah,
like speaking of that is like that's the discipline. So explain to the listeners at home, because everybody knows Tomato or whatever the hell he's called.
The flying tomato.
Flying tomato with the red hair. Shaun White, that does all the jumps and spins and 180s, 360s, all that. You guys are 4, 6.
Yeah, so depending on the course, it all depends on the area and where we ride, but it could be 4 guys or it could be 6 guys wide, and essentially it's the first one to the bottom wins. There's 100-foot jumps, turns. We go like 55, 60 miles an hour.
I've seen some nasty wipeouts.
Yeah,
have you had anything?
Knock on wood right here. I stayed in front of a lot of the packs.
That's the key, right?
That's where we want to stay.
It's like NASCAR.
Yeah, exactly.
The only bad stuff happens in the back.
Exactly. And but I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of it is other riders, and it's totally depending on. Some guy could just catch an edge and he's coming 55 miles an hour straight into you, right up a turn, and like. Yeah, then you everyone,
it's like
everyone
riding a
blows
motorcycle on the highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very similar to motocross. Like, they look at my border cross, which is snowboarding. They look at that as really similar to motocross. So, yeah, it's a wild sport. It's wild.
What is the best part about it and the worst part about it?
The adrenaline and the fact that, I would say the individual sport itself, that is the best and the worst part about it. That is the worst part about it is that it's all on you. Like, you could fly, I literally could fly 15 different countries in the wintertime. Between November and April, I have 15 different competitions all over the world, and the fly to France, to Turkey, to Bulgaria, back to the States, like all over. And yeah, you could go out first round every single competition, and that could be caused from someone else. It could be mental. It could be anything. But that is a hard part, because you're not relying on anyone else. You don't have a team to rely on. But the good side about that is if you know what you're doing, and you can use that to your advantage, winning as an individual sport at such a big stage is unbelievable. Like, winning at a stage where it's just you. Like, you did this. Like, yes, you have a coach and you have wax techs, people that help you, but like when really it matters, when the gate drops, it's just you. And so that is the coolest part.
Talk about that. Talk about the gate, because how much, like, what?
Yes,
bring us to the gate, because when you're getting, it's like, the horses coming up for the Kentucky Derby to the gate. So because in the back of your mind, there's a certain amount of time before, like, you're in the 10-second window, or you got so much time. What is that feeling like? Because that, to me, is sort of probably like when I'm
mental.
Squaring off with a guy and going to fight. Once the gloves are off, you go into a different zone, and the fight's on as the gate drops. So
it's like a blackout zone. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really just zone in, and you have one focus, but you do it so often. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the repetition down. But I think so much of the sport, because this will just tie all into the mental aspect, is I'm young. Like I was the youngest on the U.S. team by 7 years. Last year we have another guy that got on the team a year older than me. But, yeah, I was the youngest on the team by 7 years. So the mental aspect, they know the older guys, and shout out to everyone on my team. I mean, they're awesome guys. But, I mean, in individual sport, it comes down to, like, I mean, they're my biggest competition, the guys on the U.S. team. And so there's a love-hate relationship there. But, I mean, there's guys on my team who are 40 years old and who can play, they have the experience on me, but they know that, like, my talent is and my skills coming up. But, I mean, come on, it's a mental game. I know that. And so loading into the gate, this last year I made my first finals, which was, like, it was going to be the last, like, the last drop on a World Cup. It was in Italy, the biggest stage that I've competed on. And it was, like, last 6 riders. This was for the podium, 1, 2, 3. And I was loading into the gate, and I had, like, the 5th gate choice. So that goes by how you qualify for that race, and whoever's the fastest, they'll load the gate first.
Now, is there in a 6-man race, is, like, the 3-hole?
It just depends on the course. It doesn't matter.
So the courses, it's like NASCAR, where the tracks are different.
Totally different.
Now, would that be because maybe the first turn or how you want to get out?
Whole shot. Yep.
So the whole shot's key because it's all about getting in front.
Exactly. And so it just depends. But some riders, they don't want the whole shot because drafting becomes a.
So you're more like horses then.
Exactly. No, it's
a lead horse, or a stretch run guy, wow.
It's a big mental game because everyone's skill is different, and so you have to know how that rider's gonna. If I'm in the heat with this guy, for instance, I mean Nate Howland, the guy on my team, going into this race in Italy, he is a rider who's not going to win a whole shot. Like I can say right now, Nate won't beat me to the first turn, but he has the freight. He's a lot bigger than me. He has the freight, and he's really good at drafting. So to the end of the course, I mean, I'm watching out for Nader on the last turn. I mean, he's coming in hot. And so it's like, I know that he passes, he's smart. I mean, he has the experience. He pretty much like started. And so he's been racing for the last 25 years. But getting into the last gate, we were loading in, and Nate had a gate choice before me, so he could determine where everyone went, kind of thing. And he knew I was the youngest one. It was a finals of really experienced riders. I mean, these guys are all 30 years old, 35 years old, all of one multi.
When was this?
This was in February, I think. February, December. No, maybe
fresh,
December.
Right. So fresh, right off this last season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This
finals is sort of like if you follow golf, coming up to the FedEx Cup.
Yep.
Playoffs. Yep. So this is it.
And the young kid was in the mix, and so it's like I really didn't even know what's going on. Like, I was just in the mojo. I'm like, okay, I got momentum. I'm going to keep it going. But Nate, he had the gate choice before me, and so he's like, all right, I'm going to pick this gate. We loaded in. We're getting ready. I do my warm-up, like, same ritual. Boom. The TV's ready. We're ready to go. And he's just like, actually, he pulls back, and he switches gate choices with me. He's like, I want that one. And so, boom, and I unstrap, and I totally get out of my mental focus. Well, he thinks so. He's trying to play a whole mental, so that really plays a factor. I ended up getting second there. He got like 5th, but I ended up getting second, which was awesome for me. It was my first like big stage podium. So
was that the biggest? Would you say professional thrill or biggest? To let you know, because that's got to be not only to be in there, but also to podium. And I know second, let's go Ricky Bobby here.
I know the first loser. Last, give it to me right now. I get it.
But at where you're at, because one thing that I always preach is self-awareness.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone.
And going into it. So would that be the last race?
Yeah. So that was. I had like 7 more races through them, but that was probably the biggest stage race. The biggest turning factor probably in my career earlier on was 2016. I won Youth Olympics, and so with all this, like with representing the U.S., that's the part that like comes in. We kind of forget about the individual sport of like competing with each other, and you talk about representing the country, and that's what we're really all here for. And that's the cool part. That's really, because Youth Olympics, that was the first time where nationally I was able to experience that. I was like, holy cow, man, I'm on national TV. Like, this is wild.
But did that prepare you for where you are now?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It seems to me, obviously, and I know that, being moving away from home, but out of your comfort zone, chasing your dreams. So you're a lot older mentally because you've had to grow up a lot earlier, but you realize what these are. How was the results in the last? What did that do when you came off that? As far as just to know you belonged, or one of these that you're on the right path, or
I think in 2016 it was like that was the really turn because I was still in high school, so it's like I'm trying to tell my parents that like I'm still like, come on, still let me skip half the year of school, like I'm still living my dream, like I just like here buy my next plane ticket, but I'm telling you I'm gonna win this next race type thing, like I was still trying to prove it.
So it's time to shut up or
exactly.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Tell me once. Show me twice.
Exactly, and so and my parents know they're hardworking. They're like, all right, well let's see it. And so I ended up showing out on that, and that was awesome. And with that just gave me the confidence, and the support. Like I got put on the U.S. team after that, and so it's had the right coaching and bringing it back, like you said, living with my coach. I was in that time period. I was still living with my coach, Ross Hinman, and so. Man, I was living in the basement of a house in Colorado, just every day grinding, practice. Like,
yeah, but I mean, loving life.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm not in school. I'm not taking tests. Like, I know what I want. Like, and I'm just going to get it. And it's a matter of time. And with my sport, it's I have 10 more, 12 more years of good racing still left. And so it's a long career, that's a really cool part about my sport.
That is. So explain what it's like. I don't know. So explain to me what it's like to play for your country or to be a part of that team now. What the pros obviously and maybe some of the cons.
I would say I mean the pros it's crazy because I think everyone, you talk about like LeBron James or whoever you want to talk about, I think they're all normal people, you know what I'm saying? They grinded to get to where they're at. Yeah, they're gifted some ways, but like they really grinded to get there. And so I think it's just cool the fact that it's like I'm a normal kid, but the support that I'm like getting from all over. You get you get messages from all over, and I'm like just now starting to realize that. I'm like, holy cow, this is really cool. And so I see that, and they're like, I'll be over in Bulgaria or something and tired, like really, the traveling's tough. The traveling on your body is really, really tough. And don't get me wrong, there's days where you totally don't want to race or don't want to train, whatever it is. But you see stuff like that and the support, and it's that's when it makes it really, really cool, and that makes it worth it. But the cons, you have the whole country watching you. Like you gotta know that everywhere you are, someone's watching, and it's I'm just realizing that locally too. It's like you go to the bar, you gotta know that someone knows you here. And I'm still in the phase where it matters. I'm still in the place where it's like it really matters to trying to keep a good image up, and so. Yeah, I'm just trying to watch out that and feel out who I'm hanging out with. You know what I'm saying? It's important.
All right, Jake, I'm out of here. Jeez.
Yeah, Dom, see you later. No, I'm kidding.
We're screwed because you and I got Dom. Man, I thought I was doing a better job. And from my experiences, the advice that I would, give you or anything else is, so I grew up across the border in Leamington.
Yeah, fill me in. I need to hear. I need to hear the backstory.
I grew up. I'm like Michigan's favorite stepson, right? Because the house I grew up in, give or take,
local
10 minutes for 10 minutes for the border was 40 minutes, right? So I went over. I've been to games at Olympia growing up, Joe Louis Arena. I was always pissed about they were giving away a car when I was 12. I didn't understand why I couldn't win one, so I always said, I'm going to get Mr. Illich to buy me a car. Yeah. So he bought me a few, and a few rings. And anyways, it worked out. But, the one thing is that what I hear from you, which is great, is that not only that you're grounded, but you see that, right? It took me a long time that I always didn't, being everything to everybody else, didn't really know who I was. For me, I'm an alcoholic and my battle, with that and finally now I'm 47, so you could be my kid. I got two daughters over there that are sitting right there that are, you're 26 now, eh? Oh, God. Damn. Wow. You 26 yet, Chris? No. Ah, there you go. See? It's like drapes. See, Drapes is always older. Nace, you're the drape of the family. Yeah. But it's who who you are, and who you start surrounding. What means, keep your intentions pure, and then it'll work out the way that it's supposed to work out. And that doesn't mean it's easy, no. but the people around you that you grew up with, like you can tell you were raised well, but it's in a different world too, because honestly, you wouldn't have known me if we had cell phones and internet and all the social media back in the day, the shit that we used to do. And, like it's nuts, and that's just not me personally or the people that I hang out with personally. It's my generation, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to, be sort of, true to yourself, because you also know that, you got 12 years left. You're doing something. Like the one thing is that you're 21 years old. How many different countries have you been to?
Oh, jeez, man. I was like, when I was 15 is when it really picked up, and I went to China, you name. I've been.
What's
South,
the best?
South Korea.
This is a grind time exclusive.
Yeah.
These are the DMAC questions, right?
I love it. I love it.
I can, I know the similarities between us, and learn more, and it's the hard work. So I was never the talented one, but I was the one who would rollerblade through town. Like in the summer, I didn't go to the, to the school stuff, and I was focused because that's what I wanted to do. I went to the hockey schools, I went to the skating. One thing that I realized, because I love baseball, but I was better at punching people than I was at hitting a curveball. So, I always wanted it, and I would do whatever that it took. Now, I knew who I was on the ice, like the player that I was. That was my identity, but that's not, the whole thing. You said it yourself. You believe, and you use LeBron James as an example. Yeah, we all get dressed the same way.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean,
Absolutely.
I hear it a lot. And the one thing, as I told you at the beginning, is I'm looking to surround myself, right, with people that I don't have to argue with, but people that say, well, what do you mean by that? And the one thing is that, being up, down, near death, from, self-abuse and stuff like that, is to be back here, is to let people know it's really tough. Life's tough, but we're all in this sort of together. Yeah. So if you be honest with what it is, what you want to do, I always say you got to embrace the suck.
Absolutely.
Then that's where you realize is that nobody wants to. I don't care. It's like you love chocolate. You can't eat chocolate all the time. You'll get sick of chocolate. I love wheat. Wow, that's wait. You can't smoke weed all the time, though. I mean, I do. So that's not. But that's all. I know why medically, because you have an endocannabinoid system.
Chocolate weed.
Look into it. Chocolate weed. Okay, the chocolate weed will even you'll get old on it. But it's so a lot of it is balanced too. So with you, you snowboard. So does that mean that you wakeboard or anything board?
So I mean, pretty much in November to April, I'm all snowboard. Like I'm off the face of the earth. Like tell the girls back home I'm leaving. Like I'm
back there. How many countries do you think you've been to?
I mean, I don't even know, man. All over year. I mean,
what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite country?
Norway was pretty sweet.
Because
that was Youth Olympics, and so my event was like 2 days. We had to be there for like 2.5 weeks. Like opening, closing ceremonies had to be there. And I was first time experiencing all that crazy stuff.
In a village and
yeah, it was wild. Even at youth, I mean, it's Youth Olympics, and it was still wild.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
How hot? What country had the hottest chicks?
Norway.
Really?
So here, this is my story.
Come on. Grind time with Darren McCarty. I gotta get something out of you, kid.
So I think I competed call it 3 days into my 2.5 week stay, 3 or 4 days, like the first wave of competitions, and I won. And so that was an all-time high already, and I was nationally known. I started my Instagram, I woke up the next morning, I'm like, holy cow.
How many followers?
Oh, I don't know. I was just it was a few thousand overnight.
That's what I'm saying.
It was crazy.
That's
for me,
a lot.
it was,
people think about when people say, oh, this too. Okay, think about it in pennies.
Yeah.
And drop a pile. How many big's your pile? That's overnight. So that's
crazy.
huge.
It was kind of wild to again come from a small town local kid who's trying to make it and just super determined, but to start seeing, I'm like, whoa, this is cool. But with that, like I had another 2 weeks of doing like it's nothing. Like I went to all the hockey games. Our hockey boys won.
Yeah.
It was sweet. That was.
Do you know any of those guys? Because the guys that got drafted.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of them.
You know who? So we're talking about the U.S. Under 18 team that we talked about before. I think 11 guys went and 9 of them are in the first round or something like that.
I think I know there was not this last year, not this last draft, the last one.
So Quinn Hughes and
yeah. I know his brother, Jack, just went this year.
To Jersey, yeah,
crazy. Those guys are insane, super talented.
Insane. The kids, like these days, you like, and I'm sure it's when you're talking about the older snowboarder guy, where I can relate to because you watch on YouTube, these kids can do these things. Did you see the kid with the puck that turned it on the backhand, ripped it around? I mean, like, come on. I mean, the only defense I got for that is when you're skating back celebrating to the bench, I'm going to friggin' sucker punch you. No, I don't do that. That's Lemieux. I cold cock you. I'm going to look you in the eyes and say, that's not very nice. But you just did. How did you do that?
That is so funny. I need to hear some fight stories, by the way.
Oh,
we can do that later on.
Do you got one for today?
Give me a minute. I got one.
You got one.
Right.
So it's nice that you know that's this Perry Vellucci, who's usually the co-host, but now he's the sniffles. He's in bed. Alan, please send him some soup. Somebody send Perry some soup. He's got the sniffles on the couch. Hope you get better, Perry, because I told him, don't you fucking be coming in here and getting anybody fucking sick.
Yeah.
Right? Especially our Olympic hopefuls, for fuck's sake. So we do a segment. Called what do we call it? Like DMAC fights or something like that. And there's a good one. Yeah, this is a good one.
All right. So like I said, I was bored. Oh, yeah. And so I need to know what goes on with these fights.
Right, okay, so Bam Bam, right? I told you he's around it all the time. Hates it. Hates sports. Like we've been friends, whatever. And it's like, oh, you fight? Oh yeah, well because he has to, right? So. He's bored and he's looking up. So
hey, I want you to talk me through these.
That's exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the live version.
Exactly.
Yeah, here we are.
So this is in 1993, right? So you can see September 26th, right? This is exhibition. Okay, my rookie year that I made the team. Now this is Marty McSorley, right? Who's a old school tough guy. You know, a guy that I looked up. I mean, I even had a T-shirt that said Marty McCarty on it and stuff like that. So for me, back in the day, you, I guess, you know, got your bones, or you
Respect.
Is it a respect thing? Yeah, it is, but it's a fight. Here, you want to rewind it? No.
You remember these punches?
Yeah, I do because I remember. Just the fact that we actually fought like later on either in Edmonton or whatever. But so I pick a fight with him, even though he's an old school tough guy. And I think the one thing that was commented, because if you hear it, it's more of a like a wrestling match. One of the things too is right there, so I don't have my jersey tied down and my jersey's over my head.
Yeah.
So that's a very vulnerable, dangerous spot, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll always tell you, if you could see it coming. Right, if you could take a punch, right, like I'll bleed like a sieve, but I got a cement head.
Yeah.
So if you could see it coming, then it's not going to hurt as much. It still hurts, but it's not going to hurt as much than if you have your head down or if your jersey's over your head. So right there, you want to take it down.
What do we got here?
Right, exactly. So you're sort of squaring off to make sure he drops his gloves, right, and then. A lot of times with guys like that, they're so strong, right? Yeah. So the thing is that you want to get inside.
Did you just throw a knee at him?
No, it's balance. I know I only throw knees at Lemieux. But you know, it's a balance thing, and right here, it's sort of you show when you go fight these guys, you're just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what you said is there's different ways.
You got a couple good ones in there.
Yeah, there's some good lefts in there. And this is more like a longer fight. So this is a guy that fights longer. He got a bloody nose. He's not happy.
So did you fight him twice in one game? Is that what's going on?
Yep. Maybe, probably. Or the other one
in an exhibition?
Yeah, because I'm trying to make the team. That's what you did back in
'93. You were?
Yeah, that's the year I made the team. If you want to pull up here, actually pull up a good one, because while you're here, pull up the Cam Russell. Pull up this one, because this is the one I'm sure I made the team. So this is old Chicago Stadium. Yeah. So yeah, that one. So preseason brawl in old Chicago Stadium, which was like one of the best. So right here, as you can see, there's me and Cam Russell. It's sort of a bench brawl, but I'm just hammering lefts on him, right? So wait, so I get him down, and I'm just pumping him, right? So I get him down there, and he's like, "You jump me, you jump me." But in junior, we used to go, because like you said, the girls would go, buckets off, center ice. Let's go square off, old school. So I let him up. Watch. So this is all going on. These guys are all rolled. There's Bob Probert wrestling around. There we go. Let's go square it off right here. And you'll watch at the beginning. It's Balboa Creed. The two exchanges of the punches. No, not there. Wait till it goes to center. Right here. Watch.
That's you?
He hits me. I hit him and Bambi him. He cuts me, but watch. Bam, 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 night, Bambi. Bambi.
You knocked him out 4 times.
Yeah, I knocked him down 4 times. And when you go over to the bat, see, here we go. We're going to bat you, man, Scotty. So I'm pretty sure that this is when Scotty said, this kid's too crazy. Even when I got off the ice and Proby was there, Proby, watch his head snap a couple times. Oh. But that's just strength. And that's his leverage. When you're like, I had to use that farm boy strength and leverage, but yeah, we tussled. I have tons of. See, the thing is, for Cam Russell, we've fought probably 3-4 times, but you respect those guys.
That's my question. Is
absolutely the only guy that I didn't ever respected was Claude Lemieux for what he did to Chris Draper, because it's how he handled it. He didn't apologize. He said you would have never known a Draper. He's not sorry. Took it a little too far.
For sure.
That's personal.
Absolutely. That's my thing. Is like, even in juniors and stuff, like, is it like earning your respect? Is it
it's earning your stripes, and the game used to change. So now the game, is different. If you want, if you haven't seen the Russian 5 documentary, that's one for great to explain how we got to where we're at, because you're in a position now as you see it travel, but this Red Wing team now, the whole reason, and maybe you could explain, because you're in the biggest culture of Team USA, but with Steve Yzerman coming up, because it's the culture. It's things are done the right way. You have the winning attitude with the guys that know what it takes, right? Now, that doesn't equate to victories. It doesn't equate, but it equates to preparation. It equates to, speak on some of the impact you said, it's an individual sport, but of the what you learn from the coaches, or having the right board, or having the right, the equipment, to give yourself the best opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that whole individual sport, the U.S. team, speaking for our team, we are the best team, and so it's like it's individual, but I know, like, for me, I want to be the best in the world. I'm going to be the best in the world, so I'm also training. It's a positive because I'm training with the best guys. Like, I know that I'm working with the best talent out there, and so bring with our coaches and preparation, all of our gear. All that stuff is so customized for us. Like, I mean, for our boards, we ride super. I read a brand called Kessler, super small company out of Switzerland, but it's just like nothing special about that. It just works for me. Yeah. So really, I mean, when we get out there, there's so much on the line. It just comes down to you have to be comfortable with like what you're on your gear. Like our wax techs, he makes sure it's all of our screws and our bindings, everything's like done the night before. Equipment. Like he knows what's up. And I mean, that's because, I mean, when you're hauling ass down a hill 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, right next to 3 other guys about to hit a 100-foot jump. But again, we're not on a dirt bike. We don't got gas and brake. Like you're full send. You're full send a mile back. Like, you're coming in because you need the speed. And so it's that whole commitment level there. That's where just the commitment in snowboarding in general, just with all that stuff, it's so much different than anything else, because you have to be committed from so far away. Like, you can't, I guess you could back out, but you do run out of a time frame. But if you're going, like, you're going, and you need the speed. You need the speed for it, or you get hurt. Like, that's the thing, is like you come up short, and that you don't want that. You splat. I mean,
so it explains a lot. Connor, so you're officially drafted into the grind time with Darren McCarty. You didn't know this, but I have, and it's the grind. The family of the athletes. We all know the greatness, and nothing against anything else. But I'm looking for the guys that are out there grinding, right?
Absolutely.
So you're my snowboarder guy.
Let's do it.
You're talking. So Connor Daly, you have to check him out. He's an IndyCar guy, right?
All right.
And I did the fastest lap, the Honda fast lap before the Detroit Grand Prix with him. But even talking and because I get the adrenaline, but I'm not adrenaline junkie. But you and him, it's like for him, it says it's that the fact that I could die, the fact that I could hit the tree, that I got to be so good and so precise that's the thrill.
Well, yeah,
it's the same. You're wired the same way. All you got like Michael Annette, who's the Xfinity guy, right? Ryan Ellis, who's our PR. Ryan's our PR / hockey guy / he races a couple times a year guy, right? So it's all the guys that are grinding and stuff like that. But
I think that for my sport, with being such call it an adrenaline junkie, there's nothing else. I mean, I was raised on crazy shit like that. Skateboarding,
Joe, man, your mom, who's crazy, your mom or your dad? Like,
where do you get the fearlessness? My grandfather used to race NASCAR and Winston Cups back back in the day. Jerry the Bear McCarra. He's probably listening.
Jerry the Bear McCarra.
Yeah, that's right.
The Jerry Bear right here. Oh, I love it, dude. He's got stories.
So yeah. So actually,
that's sort of like that to me is like talking hockey about the way, listen, son, back in my day, what I mean, like 20 years ago, the game has changed, right? My guy's not in the game. The fighting, as far as being a strategy and intimidation, it's not there anymore, right? So that is awesome. So he had that.
Well, even to this day,
they didn't wear seatbelts probably back then.
And it's kind of funny. He actually used to be like the goon, you would say, of he didn't take any shit. There's videos of him pulling people out of cars and
Yarborough, that's old school.
No, he's
accountability. That's what I'm talking about. If everybody was accountable,
he knows what's up. That's for sure.
I love it.
But even to this day, he's still he calls me. He's like, hey man, what'd you do today? Because we're in a high performance business. He's like, every day counts. He's like, what and so he's on me. It's always been. That's all. I don't know what that niche is, the chip on my shoulder, but it's always there. It's just almost when I travel, I try to represent Detroit, Pink. No one knows what Pinckney is. I love Pinckney, but no one when I'm traveling, I'm Detroit, and I'm rocking that Detroit, just the hard
and the attitude.
Yeah, you have to. You gotta roll up with that. It's and people know especially these foreigners, oh my god, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
it's such a mind game. Yeah, there you go.
But you have to use it. But also too is that you understand that you are different because you are from here. So
absolutely.
So where it's from. I always say my power to where I am now is the people.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's why I travel around. That's why I love doing the stuff I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of, telling people why now's the time that if you're going to make a commitment to this hockey team, and if you can, with all the deals like the season tickets and stuff like that, because they got payment plans. But look, now's the time I'm telling you to look into it because you know what's coming.
Yep.
That's speaking of what's coming for you. When does your season start, or how does it happen, and what are you looking to do this year? Do you have
it's a
goals?
big year. Yeah, it's a huge year. So
and why?
Yeah, so coming up. So my off season pretty much is from then beginning of April. I come back home and I train all off season here, and so it's just a lot of fitness training, try to get my strength up and gain weight. I'm pretty small for my competition. A lot of these guys, gravity doesn't lie. The heavier you are that you can use and use that to your ability, the faster you're going to go down the hill. And so just trying to get all my strength up and get ready to rock and roll. That's what I'm doing all summer. But my season really starts October. We'll take a 3-week trip to Switzerland, I think. Saas-Fee in Switzerland.
Get your girls in line. Which one you're calling where, bro? You got time, but don't be fucking up You're Sweden and Norway, and then they show. I mean, maybe that. I mean, they are Europe. That might work out. I don't know these days, but yeah, get your fucking.
These training camps are trying to be hard on us, man. They say, hey, we got no training camps to try to be hard.
No, I understand, but training camp ends, and then you end up staying at the competition after for a few times. Listen, you're not going to get away with this rookie shit anymore. About this young kid, I don't know the ways. Right? You know the spot you want to go eat. Yeah. You know the place you want to go. You know where I mean, God, if you got to fucking look, you might as well, like, see some fucking some shit walking by. I mean, God dang. I mean, that is your, as a representative, Grind Time with Darren McCarty. So when you do go this travel, and I have you when you're back in, right? Then you have to tell me, like, when we ask you what was the good part, like, here's a DMAC question. So, what have you eaten in another country that you would have thought, like, I would have never had this, and, like,
completely honest?
Yeah.
I ate dog without, like, knowing it in China. That was pretty crazy.
But without knowing it.
I mean, it threw me off. Like, I mean, it comes really fast. Yeah, everything's mental, but it just totally threw me.
Did it taste different?
I didn't even know. Like, it just, I'm like,
fucked you, dude.
Yeah, it messed me up, and so.
What did you think you were eating?
I don't know, man. You just get hungry, bro. You just you get hungry.
Chinese, man. He probably just ate an hour before, and then fucking.
They eat right.
Oh, you must feed the dog. Yeah, the dog.
I'm just, man, I don't eat a lot of food.
Like, how do you find out that it was dog?
My friend is like, I guess he was talking to the lady or something.
Yeah,
like,
just hey, bro, you like that?
Dog.
Oh, yeah. Fido.
Yeah.
You had a question?
Yeah, sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure that's sweet, right? So you get, like, the goggles, the ski suits. I don't know. I don't know the names to everything. You said Kessler's or snowboard.
Yeah.
What are your sponsors? I want to know the free shit that you're getting all the time.
Yeah.
And what sponsors do you want? I'm sure there's something out there that you that you're like, ooh, I'd like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, my biggest thing with endorsements is, like, growing up, starting in Michigan, is I'm really, really focusing on, I don't care about, like, nationally. Michigan market is what I want to be. That's who I am. Like, the Michigan market. You see on my comic book right up there, Michigan, boom. You see, like, you got the mitten.
That's a great segue too, Jake.
You got thanks. I don't know if it's as cool as yours. I gotta.
Just wait. But listen, right?
Yeah.
In 26 years, right? You got more than half your life. So with all your accomplishments, let's see what yours is. Then you can compare mine, and I'll be like, look at that dog shit, right? Because you'll have all
one stand on an Olympic podium.
Absolutely,
let's do it.
So this is the first time people have seen your cover.
Yeah, so, first time ever.
So right now, Bam Bam's got the Jake Vedder Path to the Olympics comic book. Now, Chalice and Bauer, that I'm assuming that's the corner of the street you grew up in.
Well, so that's the corner where Mount Braden's at. So it kind of shows
locally.
I got to do some educating to, like, once we release it.
That's like Joe Louis Arena. For
exactly. Like that's where the stomping grounds are. So if you know the area, it's like, that's the kid who grew up.
So what did you, if you would say, like, shout out to there? What is the one thing that you learned on that hill that till this day, is there something that you can apply, or is there something
I mean, I don't want to be just, like, too basic, but, like, the hard work. I mean, there's one thing, like, we do, like, I can snowboard the same amount of time as I could in Colorado, but it's like the repetitions. I'll run 300 laps just on a small hill, and I'll run 4 laps in Colorado just because of how long it is. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like the hard work, the mentality. It's knowing that, like, I have a goal of getting to Colorado one day. Like, I know when I'm there, I'm like, okay, I know I'm riding an old garbage dump hill, like, old, isn't it like an old garbage disposal? I think it is. Mount Braden is actually.
Okay.
It was a landfill. They built over it.
All right.
But but it's like, like, that's not where you want to be. Like, you want to be out in Colorado. So it's I don't know, working to get where you want to be.
So those guys that grew up on a mountain, an actual mountain in Colorado, were like, who's this kid coming from a hill? He's a joke. Like, they looked at you as a joke, right?
Yeah, they had no idea, which was funny. And so,
hey, before we move forward with this, couple things, right, for the endorsement.
Yeah,
so all the Michigan. So listen out there, all you Michigan-based companies, Better Made Chips,
Fago Pop.
There's so much,
right? Mm-hmm. No, and I'm reaching out to anybody who's listening. Email Nick at DarrenMcCarty.com. Get a hold of anybody at DarrenMcCarty.com. put you in touch with not only us, but if you want to get involved with Jake, because I think that what we're trying to build is the facilitation. Mm-hmm. Do you golf?
I'm not that good, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
It doesn't matter, but do you listen? If you say that, you probably would have to give Rieger. Jeff Rieger from 97.1, you'd probably have to give him a shot of hold on if you say you're not very good, because he's the worst fucking, but he loves it. And you can't be mad at somebody who sucks that plays good. And just the fact that he can add that many numbers. But no, it's all about getting out there and enjoying it and being, anyways. I bring that up because one of my sponsors is Cattails Golf Club in South Lyon.
Oh,
do you know where
awesome.
Cattails is?
Yeah.
Because, they're part of the Grind Time family. That's, of course, it's held the LPGA Futures and Michigan Open qualifiers. Back in the past, wetlands on the front, hardwood on the back. That's where Perry, I think he's lost. He might have fucking fell into the pond and fucking got the sniffles yesterday, because that's where he's always looking for his balls. But the best part, being part of the Grind Time family, is you go there and you mention Grind Time with Darren McCarty, you can play for $25 with a cart.
Boom.
During the week. So thank you to Cattails. September 22nd, we got some big plans out there. Probably like a 9 to a 3 event, 9-hole event. We're putting that stuff together. So, so talk about, I'll bring you in, Dom, because you are the, I guess the liaison or the relationship that you had with Jake, because you got his comic book. Now we know you because of the comic book Donnybrook. Have you seen the hockey?
Yeah,
Donnybrook. And then obviously I have the team, the Burnaby Blazers, which is a bunch of pot-smoking lumberjacks from Canada. And then Brandon Inch has the Lynchburg Moonshiners. Right. Brian O'Halloran, who is Dante from Clerks, has the Hell's Kitchen Heathens. Still, any other announcements? Or you were telling me also too is I can't show it, but Dom's shirt, if you could see it, is Miracle Flow. Shout out to Phil.
Absolutely.
Flow enhancing products, dude. You getting in on that, dude? Yeah. We all are.
That's
all
what's
three
up.
of us.
All three, dude.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I love this shit, dude. I'm even going. I'm gonna bring the mullet back too, because back in the day, for sure. Because I can sport that thing.
I'll grow mine out too.
So how did this venture come about with the comic book?
Yeah, so real fast, bringing it all the way back to the endorsements in Michigan. So I have my agent is in Birmingham, Storm, and so he brought Dom. Like, I think he works a lot with Dom as well. Yeah. And so he's like, hey, Dom, we set up a meeting and we started talking comic books, and I really had no idea about the comic book market. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. I'd never been into comics, just had no idea about it, but knew that I'm a super business motivated, and I'm like, all right, well, this is a whole nother market to reach. And I'm like, Dom knows what's up. Mess Bucket Comments. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, let's reach this market. And so, that's kind of how it all came up. Dom just started writing a story about my life.
That's it. So pretty much it. The Jake Vedder path to the Olympics details up until just what it's taken up until this point, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be a perfect thing to get it as we watch you, going into, like I said, going into this season, and it's a big season.
Yes, sir.
What are you trying? What is a successful, or what are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals?
Yeah. So this season, I know we go to China. We're 3 years out of the Olympics. So every year we're going to go to China for the next 3 years. This year is the Olympic test event. And so we'll have probably 10 different World Cups, which all are super important.
You're going to get 3 Olympics out of your season.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. I need 3 rings. I need, come on.
You're right. I got 4.
Right? Yeah, I know.
I got 4. It's all right. You're a smaller guy, though. You know what I mean? It's hard for Drake. You see, you're bigger than Drake. What are you, 5'6"?
No, 5'9". Come on.
Oh, you're still taller than Drapes, right, Drapes? Anyway, no. You'll learn, but obviously, that's so.
On skates, he's over 6 foot, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. But no, I guess my point is that it goes to is that building the foundation where that you have time, so it's what you put in to get out.
Yeah, I like to say, I hate to toot my own horn, but I like to say I'm smart with it. Like, I just know that my sport, I've heard enough times from everybody that, like, sport's not going to cut it for everybody. Like, your sport's going to take you to your next life, whatever that is. So be smart about it. Like, if I'm not going to go to school.
Fuck, where was this kid when I was fucking
I know.
his age?
I know.
You know,
If I had you as a friend, fucking, instead of fucking Draper, fucking Marty Lapointe and Ozzy and those fucking crooks, fuckers.
but it's just like, I just know that, like, I mean, being a snowboarder, like, not everyone's Shaun White, but it's just like, you know, you have goals and aspirations for that, but it's just, that's where I'm going to be, but it's just, I do business on the other side. I could also have 10 different companies I'm working with or whatever it is, do comic books, go to these Comic-Con shows, do a whole bunch of different stuff off the spectrum because it's why not? Like, start growing the market, grow your personal brand. So that's what, I mean, in the off season, that's what I'm really focused on. And so me and Dom kind of clicked with that, and that's what we're doing with the comic book.
Awesome. What are your hobby? Are you a Fortnite guy? Are you Call of Duty,
no.
Dude? Are you a video game? Are you just out? Are you a hunter?
No, I
wake bikes. I mean, I
sit my ass on a boat.
What do you boat?
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, Jesus Christ, I was running out of breath.
Come
before I was
on.
gonna get there, right? No, that boat. No boat.
Yeah.
Boat.
So I surf. No, surf, wakeboard.
Oh, so you're just out there hanging it all day.
Fill up the boat with some girls and go have a good day with the boys.
So that's.
Right?
That sounds like a shitty day, right? Hey, ladies?
Horrible.
Hey, oh, God, that sucks.
How do you do it?
No, but I mean, I just try to keep it fun, keep it light. I mean,
Now, does that help? Does the water help you on, like, as far as, is there correlation between wakeboarding and racing?
Yes and no. I think, I think it's good to take time off snowboarding. I just think that's super important. There's some people who try to chase the snow 24/7. I'm like, you guys need a break from your sport. Like, it's too much travel.
Absolutely.
Like, it's crazy. And so, like, I mean, the Australian guys, they literally, when it's summertime there, they're traveling on tour. But when it's right now, it's wintertime there, so they're in full season. It's like, you guys never get a break. Like, how do you, like, that's just not, I don't even think it's healthy. Like, you're not progressing. And so for me, I think it's really good to just, like, spend time with my friends. Cause I'm gone since I was 15 years old, you know, I'm gone for 6 months out of the year minimum. And so just get decompressed, spend time with my friends. Yeah, it does correlate to my snowboarding skills a little bit, but more the mental checkout. Just be smart, but totally just check out. And yeah, I don't know, it's fun.
No, and that's important right there, along with the self-awareness and everything like that. And, you know, one of the, because that's one of the things also too is that, and I don't know where, you know, as far as Olympics and stuff, but there's a lot of talk, and you being out in Colorado with the CBD,
absolutely,
and, you know, because here, and I do a lot of, everybody knows cannabis saved my life. I'm the biggest advocate of it. The High Times is coming.
Absolutely.
The 17th, 18th, Wu-Tang, 2 Chainz going to be there at the Russell Industrial Center. I'll be speaking on Sunday about, my journey, my path with Danny Danko, the senior editor, on his podcast, and giving away the I'm always a judge, so I got to judge the Indica, and God, what a great category.
I'm always a judge.
What a great category.
Yeah.
Hey?
Unbelievable.
Hey, good to be my neighbor.
I guess so.
Bam's not mad. He got to check it out. But so, and the difference is trying to explain to people your endocannabinoid system and the difference. So what I've done here, and one of the sponsors, if you heard of Herbal Active, it's Herbal Active, URBALACTIV.com. NOE. Now, the difference is because this is a THC free, right? And the difference to explain to everybody, well, what's the difference between the 0.3% THC and CBD? Well, it's like going to the club and being on the list to get into the club. The doorman's there. The way your cannabinoids, and it's the way you look into it, and that's a whole another episode when I bring on a whole bunch of smarter guys. We'll get into like my boy Tyler, who's out in Colorado one week a month working in the labs and stuff, and how your cannabinoids interact. But it's also too, when you don't, with the THC, you got to wait in line, which means it still works. So if you're looking for relief, I know that the plant that I got it from, go to herbalactive.com, use DMAC25 as a promo code, 25% off, from the bombs to the tinctures to the pills. You know, and when I say pills, it's all natural because it has nothing to do pharmaceutically. So, like I say, check out Herbal Active online. Thanks to Rich and everybody else. But you got to get on your own path. And I know, you know, I know the good wolves out there. I know you're out there, Billy Felsner. I know lots of other people that are struggling right now. But we're here. There's not a lot that we can do as far as just talk about it and stick around. You know, we got to keep the fight. So that, to me, is the education and the biggest help, which has happened. So check and use DMAC 25 because 25% off is great. Great way because they ship across the country. So it's a place to start, and then it starts a conversation. And the next thing you do is you reach out to us, reach out to somebody at DarrenMcCarty.com or a Grind Time podcast, and you know, you ask questions and I tell you where to look. And then that's it. And then we get everybody on the same page because it's not about whether you do or you don't. It's that you know that you have the option.
Absolutely.
You know, so it absolutely saved my life. There's no question about it. I'm like Benjamin Button, bro. I mean, I'm getting younger and younger, and like I'm in better shape than when I ended my career, when I won my 4th cup. So, so like as far as what is the best for young kids out there, or kids that love snowboard, because I see a lot of kids, you know, my kids, you know, these guys, and then the others, I got 4 other ones too, and you know, they all got into snowboarding. I could never do it. I had to ski, but what do you say to any of the kids that were like you?
Coming from Michigan?
Yeah. That's all we're worried
exactly.
about.
Let's go.
We ain't worried about those other kids. We're worrying about the next Jake Vedder.
Coming from Michigan, really, I mean, it sounds cliche, just knowing that you can make it. The ground, like, I mean, I was kept talking about you need to go to Colorado, but I mean, really, you don't need to. Yes, it helps. And
but on a vacation, because you said, is that when you realize when you're here and you're growing up and you're pounding the slopes, and it doesn't matter what it is, you can go up north to Gaylord, you can go anywhere else in here, and then you make that family trip, and it's just like, it's got to be like Santa Claus at Christmas.
No, 100%. Like, right? I mean, it's just, it's a total eye opener. Like, I'm like, what do you, I mean, a mountain? Like, I never saw it before.
But then you had to get through that either fear or of, I'm just from, you know, like you said, I'm just a Detroit kid. What am I doing out here? And then you're like, you're slaying it, and you're like, wow, the snow is the same. You know, I always tell Aaron Ward this. I go, dude, it's the same game you played since you were 5. Guys are just a little bit bigger and a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Adjust. It's the same friggin' game. It's move it. The puck moves faster than a player. Move the puck.
It messed with them more than anything. Like Dom said, I mean, it just, like, I shocked the world out there just because I was a Midwest kid that really, like, who is he? Like, who is it? Like, what? It is just like, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't talking. Like, I just came in, like, was shocking the younger competitors.
Used to do just come in, win a couple games, drink your beer, fuck your girls.
Yeah.
That's the old school Red Wings, allegedly.
I gotta write that down.
Hey, do we have this one? Because here it is, guys. The unveiling while Dom is here into the DMAC. So here it is. Billy Tucci. Who's all responsible for the cover, which for the graphic novel? See, you can see. So I'll show you, Jake. So you're talking about the Jer Bear.
Yep.
That's my grandpa Jigs, right?
Let's go.
He didn't see me. He saw me play exhibition game pro, but he was pretty much the same as the Jer Bear growing up. He was my inspiration. Your coach that you moved away in, that's drummer. That's Brian Drum. So up in
awesome.
With the mustache, that's my wife. That's Nichelle's mom, right there, who saved my life, who's my best friend in the whole world. There's Dom there. Tucci, but Snoop Dogg, who's a buddy, Kid Rock, Zach Wilde.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to know a lot of. So I love the fact how this is coming together. Now, Dom.
Yeah.
Talk about so.
That's awesome.
So what do we do? We just signed 100 limited, plus we have the VIP that we're going to be doing giveaways and stuff. But
right.
Talk about what we have going on with what the Darren McCarty and Mess Bucket, but also too about the naming. What we're gonna do. So this has no name yet,
right?
And the book. So I wrote a book, My Last Fight: True Story of a Hockey Rock Star. Wrote it in like 2012 when I was in Florida, and I was still drinking at the time. My sobriety date is November 11, 2015. But anyways, so through whatever else, so my book was My Last Fight: True Story of a Hockey Rock Star. We're gonna let the fans name this one.
Right.
So where are we at? Here. I'm going to defer to Dom so he can remind me what we talked about. Dom, where are we at on this project, and what do we have? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Darren McCarty, Grind Time with Darren McCarty, Comic-Con, moments.
All right.
Dom Ruggiero from Mass Bucket Comics.
So we'll start with the print there. So you saw Jake's cover. He had a name. There's Jake Vedder, Road to the Olympics, or Path to the Olympics. We don't have a name for Darren's life story comic book yet. We have a cover done by Billy Tucci and colors by Nick Wentland, but we don't have a name. And what we want to do is let all of Mac's fans out there, we're going to have a contest. Mac's going to do a little video. We don't know where we're going to do it at yet, but we're going to put a name to this thing. It's going to start with Darren McCarty. Then after that, everyone's going to, I think we're going to do it this way. They're going to put their idea for the cover in the comments of Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, and you're going to pick the best name, the one you like the best, and we're going to give them a couple copies of this print, which there's only 110 of them available. 10 VIP bonus covers that are all individually numbered, and they're going to be signed by myself, Darren McCarty, and Billy Tucci.
Yeah, and you can't have 25 because I got that one.
Right, that's out.
And on the 2/8 97, 98, I wrote something special. And 95, I wrote something.
and 100.
Oh, and the 100th one, too.
Yeah, so there's some special ones out of
and here's the whole thing, and I think because what it's all about and what that story more so, my book was me putting it out there. This is more so because everybody's involved. This is sort of like a group, like to give back to the people. So I want everybody to be involved. It's sort of like Grind Time with Darren McCarty, but it's the story, the life story. The way that Dom was able to take some of the funny stuff and just to express in a different way. Right? There's different sides of me. So this will be exciting. So can we give people time frame-ish, what we're looking?
We're hoping this thing will be at completion and printed by the end of 2020.
Okay.
So we actually went into production this week. John just got off a plane from vacation, went right in and
fucking
started.
Right, you should. Let's fucking let's get her going. Let's go. We got this fucking kid. This
high performance right here.
High performance. I like it. That's it. Jake Vedder. High performance.
I have your whole life story, Darren, on my mind, and Jake's. So, but there's when you guys were talking, there's all these crazy similarities. You wouldn't think that would go on between snowboarding and hockey, but you left your family. Went to go pursue a hockey career. You left your family, go pursue your career in snowboarding out in Utah. Those are things that's all part of that grind. It doesn't matter what sport you're in, but it doesn't. You got a lot of people stop right there. They're like, no, I'm not gonna leave my friends.
Well, it's what are you gonna do? It's your priority. What are your priorities? Like if you're what are you really willing to do? Like, I'll do anything. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, well, but then you're out.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's got to be the end all be all, and we eat, drink, sleep. And at the time, you don't think anything of it because you're just focused. And the more that somebody tells you can't, the more it motivates you to work even harder. And I think that in today's day and age, to see a young guy like you, it shows that, you have great role models, great parents. You mentioned what would you say for you is that what's the part of you that is definitely your dad and what's the part of you that's definitely your mom?
Oh man, that's a hard one, and I know they're both listening right now.
Well, what would you say? Like, and as you get older, I'll give you some examples, right?
Yeah.
Where prime, I posted it. If anybody saw an Instagram post before. I took a picture of my neighbor, Rob, who was cutting his grass with his one arm because he's made me, makes me want to be with my yard. I've mentioned on the show is that I'm that guy that my dad, I would never take pride in the yard. It always have to, I got to cut the grass. Now it's like I'm out there doing it, but Rob motivates me because not only does he have surgery, he's out there with one arm. I think he's, Wow. He's got insane. It. But you know what? Now it's I'm like my dad, back in the day, you get me bitching and moaning to go do that. And now it's okay.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's so hard because my parents, they both work. My mom does real estate. My dad's in construction, does electrical work. And they both work 7 days a week. So it's I see the hardworking aspect. The other day I was up leaving the gym to go to the gym at 6:30 or whatever, just normal. And my mom was in her office, just normal day grinding. And I really thought about it. I'm holy cow, man, people don't normally drive to the office till 9 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, she works for herself, whatever, but still she's grinding at such an early time. I'm that's really cool. And so I see that with both of them. And so that hard work really rubs off on me. My dad, the mental, he's always been on me on the mental side because I think it's so big, and he's helping me understand that a lot. It's just the mental side of how much you can really already win the race before you're even there. I can tell you before Youth Olympics, before I won, it sounds crazy. People don't believe me, but
I believe you,
bro. I stepped on podiums before, waving my hand like I was waving to 100,000 people. I just by myself. It's just, you become psycho about it. I'm serious. You become just there's nothing else. It becomes easy, honestly.
Yes.
Eventually it becomes easy.
And along these lines, so let's elaborate, because what you're saying, it's pretty much Brooks Koepka, greatest golfer playing right now, has brought it out in saying that the majors is easier because you cut half the field out, and he's mentally stronger than all these guys.
Yeah.
He said it the other day when they said, well, you won, you beat Rory in this. He says, well, yeah, but I've had this great success, but I've also had 9 second place finishes.
Yeah.
I learn.
Right.
You learn. You're not afraid to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because you're going to go, the bottom of what I was taught is the what if. Always give it your best, so you never have to say, well, what if? You never have to say, well, if I would have done that. How many guys well, I could have done that. Then why didn't you?
Right.
No,
exactly,
you couldn't do that because I don't care. Yeah, you were more talented, but you didn't have the jam. You know what? And then that's the thing.
We're talking the 1 percentile, though. We're talking we're all the 1 percentile.
But you understand, and you're talking the 1 percentile to that is because that's what we do. And you know what? I'll tell you this, right alongside when Dylan Larkin did that video a few years ago, him and his buddies, when he was D-Boss doing the snipe show in the basement and stuff. And I said to him, that's you being you, because that's all of us. The difference is I did that too, but I didn't have a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
We all did that because that's who we are, because you want that you want 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 cup.
Yeah.
Did I ever think, I always wanted to win a Stanley Cup, let alone 4, but did I think I'd scored, the only time I beat one guy one-on-one was for, to bring the cup back and be in the local kid and shit? No, I stayed out of my way. Just, he did it with all the great shit. Right. I realized that. It's just, you put yourself in that position to keep your intentions pure. You said your mom's a real estate agent?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. I got to read this.
So that's actually another journey that I might get into eventually. That brings it back to Michigan. Ready to hear this? Real Estate One, a Michigan-based company. So it's I had a vision of how long-term. If I'm going to retire when I'm 35. I don't know. I'm just throwing that. Yeah. Just 36, wherever in that age bracket. After a few Olympic golds, so whenever I'm comfortable. I then flipped that all. My mom's done a great job in real estate locally, and it's okay, how can I not ride her tails but grow from that? Work with Real Estate One on a snowboarding basis. Let's start working together here. Grow nationwide, not nationwide, grow in the state. Yeah. And then that way, I can flip that all over in my personal brand. There'll be no gray areas. A real estate agent will have team vedder popping, and just my mom will be the backbone with it, but just have a really big real estate team because it's I'm super. My mom, that's what she's done her whole life, and so super interested in that. And grow your personal brand. Let's do it.
I'm in wherever.
Let's do it.
Find something, wherever you got it. But but that's awesome, and that's that's the one thing that I didn't do. I always lived for the moment, and
that's important though. That's really important.
No, but it's also too but you have to be surrounded to understand that there's a bigger picture that you have to plan ahead because I remember, and I say it all the time. I remember when Dino Cicerelli was like 31 our first year, and you look at Drapes and Ozzy and I and go, you fuckers, you don't even get it. You know what? Enjoy it while it lasts. It'll be over before you know it. Maybe like, shut up, old man. You know, and it's true.
It's really
so
true.
To plan ahead, to know to also, and it's all about balance. You know, but when you're talking real estate, whether you're a first-time home buyer or simply making a move, give yourself a distinct advantage in this fiercely competitive market and put a winning team behind you. The Jeffrey Group of Remerica Integrity and Rhonda Monet of Gold Star Mortgage join forces to make sure you land your dream home. Their passion for going the extra mile shows from the first phone call to the day you're handed the keys. They've taken an incredibly complex process and made it simple and transparent. Call Jeffrey Kavanaugh at 734-306-9027 today and take the first steps to your new front door. Gold Star Mortgage is an equal opportunity lender, NMLS number 3446. Thank you for that, Mr. Kavanaugh. And like you said, it's all based on what I tried to build here, that we've been doing with Grind Time is like you said, it's the people, who's around and who, you know, wants to be a part of something. And the best part that I got going, that I figured it out too, is when everybody has something else, right? So you have that, your mom has the real estate, right? Your one buddy might be doing this and that's what he does well. And you'd let the people sort of, you oversee it and you always have to be on top of it, I would say. But it's the Colin Cowherd, who I'm a big fan of, always says, chase management, not talent, right? And I'm like, that's fucking easy because we are the talent. You know,
exactly.
We don't need that.
Right,
But to have that, and I would love to see and to grow, because like you said, where's the Winter Olympics?
It's 2022 in Beijing, back in China.
Right.
We're not going to be at dog this time. I'll bring a chef or something. I don't care. We're eating better.
See, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, we're eating better.
So hopefully, whatever, and because what's the date? July 31st, right? 19. So, what year is that?
We're like 900 and something days away.
Okay, 900 something days. I think in Michigan that we should put a plan together to make sure that, you know, we get Jake to make sure that we have building whatever conversation for sponsorship, but make sure that at the end of the day, maybe we can at least send him over a personal chef so that he doesn't eat fucking dog food.
Well, the U.S. team should have that figured out, but I agree with you. I agree with you.
But as preparation, and it's the more the merrier, because it's who wants to get involved in this journey and this voyage, right? And it's not, because it's not about the gold medal. It's about the journey to get there and the work that it takes and to
the path to the Olympics.
Exactly.
It is. It's about how you grow sort of as a person and stuff like that. So if you don't start till October, do you have like a training camp? Do you guys all report out there? Or
I'm supposed to, it's crazy to say that. I got an email today. I'm supposed to go to Park City sometime just to get fitness tested.
So speak about that. Do you have to stay in shape or something?
Yeah. So okay. Yeah,
I mean, are you obligated to stay in shape?
So yeah, we're obligated to. Snowboarding's never been like snowboarding, skiing's never really been. I mean, in the past, like a huge, like they've always looked at it as like, oh, these guys just like go out there and do their thing somehow. But they've realized like, okay, to like not get injured, you got to be strong, and like you're hitting these 100-foot jumps, like doing all this crazy flips and stuff. Like if you fall, you got to be able to strong, like take the impact. For my sport, it's like you're super intense for like a minute and 10 seconds of just like nonstop effort, and so kind of like a shift.
Well, I mean, that's a long shift.
Yeah.
But like
for me,
for us, like, and it's mentally exhausting too, because you're focused on, I mean, there's so much at one race. It's like, not
well,
like
you said you're going 70 miles an hour down the hill, and there's a tree there's trees in this hills, right?
Yeah. No,
I mean, you could like, has anybody died in the sport?
Actually, I think not since when I've been on tour, but yeah, I think before there actually was like someone crashed, hit their head, and like,
yeah, that would probably, would that be the most days hitting a tree, right?
I mean, more, it's honestly anything like, I mean, catching your edge. I mean, really, it's trees. there's not always like trees around because they try to have there's trees on the outside. You could fly off and hit a tree, but more just like going off balance off a jump. I mean, you're talking landing, flying 100 feet to your head. Like, I mean, that's like it's and like the whiplash and
have you ever?
Knocked out, like all that stuff. So that's not fun, but
absolutely not.
Yeah, but
whoever says it is,
it's terrible.
Well, I mean, if you do crash and stuff like that, that'll make the next comic a lot more interesting.
No, man, I gotta get a medal, bro.
That's what's cool about what we're doing with Jake. We're putting a comic book as his life goes on.
And that's brilliant. As we
like a series type thing.
Absolutely, and the best thing that I talked to Dom, as doing the Donnybrook, as doing all this stuff, is that, especially in that world, you don't need to. There's always a story because they can always follow.
Exactly.
And it never changes. So if you're not training or whatever, you're just out on the boat and just enjoying. Weather. Or do you travel? Do you travel when you're not traveling?
So I work a lot. I work at the Legacy Center in Brighton, so that's where I train as well.
What's that, a gym?
Yeah, it's a big sports complex in Brighton. So I know that the Goebel family who owns it, super like good to me. They have been taking care of me since I can remember.
Absolutely,
they're awesome.
We all need that, and that's like that's like where. That's like the home gym.
Exactly.
That's like the home.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you're from.
I work out in a bus garage. Like I literally work out in a bus garage, but it's like I'd pick that any day over the Olympic Training Center. I mean, no shame against that, but I train by myself. I'm with my trainer. It obviously works. So it's if I go to Park City and crush my fitness tests, then it's like I'm going to continue and train where I need to. It's like it's what I know what works. Like I know what works. And there's not, So I just all summer. I mean, I grind every day. About 3 hours, depending on the day, just about 3 hours every morning. Just if it's yoga, if it's whatever it is, have a set regimen. So fitness for me is super, super important. Trying to work on this whole diet thing, that's a whole nother world. But when you're traveling, it's super important to try to eat as good food as you can because your body is going through.
I
mean, I'm full blown addicted to sugar. Like, I mean, sugar is just like
chocolate or
candy
or like gummies or like
just I mean,
like if I give you one of those Sour Patch Kids or whatever,
sit there and munch a whole
a bag right now.
Oh, a bag. Try like a Costco family size bag.
Nice. Yeah, no wonder. Exactly.
But
no wonder you're all wired up at the starting line.
Yeah.
What's he got? IV a Sour Patch. Yeah, you got it. D-Max smoke a Sour Patch bud. Jake's got Sour Patch sugar. So, Dom, on our end, you want to touch on what we got going on, and I think especially for our Canadian audiences or Americans that want to travel to Canada across the border.
Yes. So it's actually it's your first comic convention where you're at the table, right?
Ever.
Your first appearance ever.
Ever.
Right? And it's my first Canadian Comic-Con appearance at Windsor Comic-Con, September 21st and 22nd. It will be Mess Bucket Comics right next to Grind Time with Darren McCarty. You're going to have your full setup there. Do you know what you're going to have available at your table? You'll have pictures.
We'll have some Burnaby Blazer jerseys, some Slapstick Comedy jerseys.
Grind Time, some comedy.
Yeah, and if people have autographs they want signed, we'll figure that out and pictures and stuff. But I'm excited, obviously. I'm excited to get in that world, obviously, with the, like I said, what is it, February's Astronomicon with Twisted Fellas.
I'm going to come to that September one. I'll be home. I'll come to
that. You can come over with us. So we're doing it on the Saturday. So
we'll sell some of the covers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
just print some of those up so that they get the Jake gets the get the word out.
Sure.
And that's the whole thing too. Is like part of the family is that we're just trying to facilitate anybody who.
That's awesome.
Just because I break my ankle, Nichelle's more of the ESPN Aspen. Winter Games correspondent. Like when I asked her, she knows the skiers, right? You're the skiers. Yeah, I don't know one of the snowboarders, but
give me some names. Give me some.
Davis.
Who?
Isn't it? No, I don't know.
Okay. We'll talk after.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk after.
Okay.
I just wanted to, so do you like Aspen? I've been to Aspen.
So I've actually never been to Aspen. They pulled Bordercross, they pulled out of X Games, which sounds crazy. That's a whole nother topic. But It sounds like the most.
Oh, it sounds like politics in that sport too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do they have an event in Michigan?
No. So I mean, there's nothing that like it takes I think $250,000 in snowmaking to build a track. Like our tracks are so big and long, and just you think about how much snow and time it takes to build that stuff. It's like 2-3 weeks of just like a
Where's
whole
your
team.
favorite
track?
Do you have a favorite?
Austria. Austria does a really good job. Like there's some resorts in Austria where they'll have like 3 or 4 different tracks that you can just train on a different one every day, which is unheard of. Like for us, it's normally you train on one track, and for 3 weeks, and you change some features. You know, we do a lot of like just working with what we got, like just because it's hard. I mean, it's really tough to build a persistence track. I mean, so Austria does a really good job. We go there every year. I don't know, man. Like Austria, we don't even have that good of one in the States. This year we have a race in Canada up in British Columbia. Actually, I like
Whistler?
I was just in Whistler like 2 weeks ago for a team camp. We were mountain biking, but this is at Big White. I think it's a smaller place, but it's a place that they can shut down a whole hill and build our track, which is awesome. So
sweet. Because that seems very Canadian.
Yeah.
Right up the Canadian
they love
alley. Have you? So speaking along those lines, they have that downhill skating sort of
Red Bull crushed ice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a perfect. It's the same exact thing as my sport, but just on a bigger. Like we do that. At, like,
except
a
you guys
scale.
are with
Snow. Yeah, snowboards.
Now, do you guys?
and
Is there
success.
like you're not allowed to wipe a dude out, but there's you guys bumping stuff.
So that's I mean that's what causes that. Like the end. I mean, I was gonna say there's not really. I mean there is some fights I would say in our races, but like it's not. It's hard because again like you got the country that like you got to report to someone. And it's like. You can tell her, you can talk to our coach, but there's always a bigger boss who's like, "Hey, man, saw you at your race today on TV, and you can't be doing that." You know what I'm saying? So we always know that, but the cause of that is like the Italians, we call it getting Italianed, and we don't even train with them. It's just like if we have to race with them, it's like we'll just call it out. We're like, guys, like stay away from us in a turn. They'll literally just come down from the bottom of a turn and just. Like straight G up a turn, like cut to G's and come right up a turn and wipe us out. And we had a guy, our teammate, it was an Olympic qualifier last year, not this year, 2 years ago, qualifying for the 2018 Olympics, and he wiped out one of our guys in an Olympic qualifier. And he just came down, finished the race, still going like 30 miles an hour, just like 2-hand shivered this dude, like 15 feet over the fences, and just like it was pretty sweet.
Like Cam Russell.
Yeah, seriously, he came down, just like didn't even stop, like just kept snowboarding, just like the guy was unstrapped and looked up and just 2-hand shivered him.
You could kill somebody. You're going 70 miles an hour.
Well, and that's the thing is it's really dangerous, and that's like it's nothing more. It's like we're not trying to fight you. It's actually really dangerous. Like you literally could die pretty much every time you fall. And just going at that speed, you catch an edge, you fall back, you hit your head. I mean, anything can happen. And so
shit, man, this thing that I did to Lemieux is nothing. This sounds like way more dangerous.
But and on the back side of this, like it's what's called B netting, just some little like it's fencing on the top of the turns, but you're meant to go through that. It's meant to tangle you up. But that is always like there's always a 40-foot drop or 50 because they push all that snow up, and so on the backside of all those turns, there's a big it's a huge penalty risk, and so it's a lot more than like I mean it's someone wrecks you or your teammate or something, like it's totally uncalled for, ridiculous. Like I won't put up with any of it. Like it's just totally for my teammates too. It's BS.
That's
total
one
bullshit.
of the things is that you got to set the precedence early. Is that maybe you're gonna early on, especially being younger. It's just like it's like NASCAR.
Exactly.
Like Chase Elliott live with Denny Hamlin a couple years ago.
Yep.
You just right is right, and you wreck me, and it's like don't do. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'll stand
100%.
up for myself because it's like one of those things is right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, you know about My Pillow? You have a My Pillow?
I don't.
I got
but
it.
all right, fill me in because I need a new pillow.
Okay, well, dude, then it's
Sell me right now.
Absolutely perfect.
All right.
Because here at Grind Time, I'm very McCool. How proud am I to announce the 5 folks at My Pillow are on board with the Grind Time with Darren McCarty people. Yes. Right now, you can get 2 My Pillows for a very low price of $69.98, but only if you use promo code DMAC25. That's like $35 a pillow when they regularly go for like $60. This made right. My Pillow was made by a former crack homeless guy right? And he's found the way that you sleep. And my story with this, and this is the truth, is that I've have the My Pillows throughout the house, but I find myself, when I put my bulldogs down, I stole their dog pillow, so it's like twice as big. That's the one I sleep with. But
you sleep with your dog pillow?
Yeah, the dog bed, My Pillow, because it's just so cool. Like, your head doesn't move. It's the greatest night's sleep. I'm not just saying that. You have to try it. Now they have the My Pillow sheets, which
I'll have to
is
check it
like,
out.
it's unbelievable. I'll hook you up. So, DMAC25, or not DMAC20, just the promo code's DMAC. And I know that it was put in any way you could spell DMAC, but DMAC is the way to do it. Go to MyPillow.com, pick up a new set of Giza sheets or a My Pillow dog bed. My dogs loved theirs. Now I have them. Just make sure to use promo code DMAC when you're checking out. I will hook you up with that, actually. The Detroit cast and Mike Walters. Shout out to you, Mike, upstairs. This is his house, right?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so this is this is his creation, the Studio for Ones. This is all
like
that
this.
we're
This
a part of is growing. You ever thought about doing a podcast?
You know, it's crazy. I was just thinking about looking at this whole studio, but one of my teammates just started, and I think it would be cool to get like a traveling, like some small setup that I could travel with, because I have so many people like internationally. But I also got to I try to get into a win-win situation, and I don't know if I'm there yet with I don't know if I have enough time yet. But I like it.
Here's the whole thing. It's because the best part about podcast, it's yours.
Yeah.
And you do it. So like I said, Heroin has the new publicist, Jake Christuber, comedian, California, does one every day, but he's got a handheld one, and he does it on. And if you're probably know a lot more about this thing and how it works and how you talk to other people. So I think that if you were serious about that, I know the guys to have a conversation with.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is something for sure that I would like to do.
And it's just an extension
awesome.
of your brand, because I know that if you're over, I'm just saying, I'm thinking out for just, my listeners out there, but you know what? Someone might call bullshit on what those Norwegians look like. You might have to have a live episode. I mean, I don't know. You say that. I haven't been to Norway. I've been to Sweden. I've been to Russia. I've been to Ireland, Scotland. What?
What do you rank the best looking country for women that you've been to?
Clare, Michigan.
Clare, Michigan. Ring that bell. There it is. Yeah.
No, it's true what they say.
It's just
there's not an ugly person in Sweden.
It's just different.
And it's different. And the Russians are tens or nuns.
I agree.
Right.
It's all different around the world.
Yeah.
I got Italian. I'm happy with that one. Clare, Michigan, baby. Yeah.
Clare, Michigan. Yep.
Yeah, so that's what else did Playing Well with Kevin Zioli. I'll be there Friday.
Comedy?
Yeah, comedy. I do that too. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out my schedule, and that's what you do. Do you have
I try
uptime, downtime? Because
it's been really busy lately. It's been.
Are you in charge of your scheduling, or does USA send you an itinerary and your flights are booked or stuff like that?
For my season, for all my season, that stuff. But we have a lot. That's why I'm so business motivated, because I'm a snowboarder for 6 months out of the year. Yeah, I work out in the morning, but I have so much time. Let's make it happen. What can I do with this? So I
love it.
I've started doing a lot of business stuff. In the summertime, I'm working at Legacy and just working a lot with my agent and Dom and just doing everything. Growing as big as you can.
Absolutely, and I said, whatever we can do here, Grind Time with Darren McCarty, part of the family, and get the word out. That's exactly what it is. And
have Jake at Windsor. That'd be cool.
No, I'm serious. I'm here. I know I'm here in September.
Yeah, you don't have to run that by me, bro. You got to just tell Dom that you'll be there. But I look forward to seeing you over there. But we'll make that definitely happen. And maybe Phil and Miracle Flow get on some shit.
Yeah,
like
come
that.
on, Phil.
So
yeah, I need some more product actually.
Yeah, me too, Phil.
This whole short hair thing, man.
I'm getting ready to go cut up the mullet, so we're gonna get her back going.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow this salad out too.
Do I have anything else?
Oh, I want to say hello to Kyle Lawler, the Anthony Lawler, the artist for the Jake Vedder comic book coming out soon.
Absolutely, super excited
Hell
to
of a
see
good,
the
talented
images.
guy. You saw that cover; he's awesome.
Where's he from?
He lives in New Jersey.
How'd you connect to him? Because I always love that.
Yeah, that comic. He was one of the first people I ever met when I first got started in this whole thing in 2012.
That's awesome.
I love it. See, and that's the facilitation. The people that I've met, and Dom and I stories when we met like 20 some years ago.
That's right.
Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Drapes and I were somewhere, and I was probably a little older than you, but I was playing Final Fantasy VII at the time, and I heard these two guys next to me talking about chocobos, about breeding chocobos, and I was right there in the game at the time, and I was like, "You guys talking about chocobos?" I sat there for a half hour, bought them beers and whatever, as they explained to me how to get the fucking chocolate golden chocobo. Nerded out. And what did you tell me? Right? He goes, "Oh, I go to these Comic Cons because nerds, they know nerds.
Yeah.
They automatically know that it doesn't matter you're a jock, that you're a fucking nerd." And
I had a cheat sheet. I knew he was a nerd.
Yeah, he had a cheat sheet. Nerd.
I love that.
It all happened so fast too that Darren got up and left, and I looked at my room and was like, "That just fucking happened." Like we're just talking about chocobos with McCarty, like just now.
That's so funny.
All right, so so tell your Uncle Eddie I said hi, Jake. And, I love his shit since back. Tell him I cover Jeremy too if he needs me to get on stage. No, I'm more interested in the Jer Bear because that explains a lot too. Because I understand you're more similar to, the motivation,
competitive. I don't know what it is. Just something competitive nature. Something. Wait, what just happened? I missed it.
I was the only one that heard that?
I was signing off.
Were you? My bad.
No. It wasn't your bad. Somebody, you didn't get that. But I ripped one of them.
Oh, word.
I thought that was a chair over there.
Hey,
before and after.
What was it last week? Hey, thanks to last week's guest, Daryl Boolin, for coming in. But at the end of this show, I almost made him piss his pants. And so at the end of this show, it should be apropos. I almost shit my pants.
This one better not clear out the room.
I cleared it out before. Might as well clear it out now. Jake, best of luck, brother.
Thanks, boss.
Look forward to doing a bunch of shit and staying in the loop, and definitely get updates, and we'll keep everybody going.
Thanks for having me,
Dom. Thank you as always. Keep us updated.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on again.
No, appreciate everything that you got going. Did it come over there? Nice. Oh, look out, baby. Dutch oven's on. Nice. All right, from McCool for Bam Bam. Perry, you missed out because I always usually get Perry with his mouth open too. So remember what I always say here for Grind Time with Darren McCarty. No matter how many times you fall down, no matter how hard it is, make sure you get yourself back up and wipe your ass. That's Grind Time.